it really gives the sound its character. So there is a lot going on in this mixed track. So first of all, we've got some EQ increase in the mid-range to give it a more vocal, like choir-like thing to it. Then there's obviously reverb, and quite a lot of it. So not a completely dry reverb either as well. Just trying to think. The reverb goes on for a while, but that's only a 0.8. Yeah, not exactly sure what's going on there. That might be a byproduct of underwater. I think it's been a while since I've used it. Like, I haven't used that preset in ages, so I don't know if it has a reverb on it. It probably does. There's a vocal codec modulating itself with 13 bands. It's on the first order. It's got a bit of modular bandwidth division, like it's halving itself. I forgot what it did that does, but I felt like it sounded better like that. And I've shifted the pitch an octave up on them, so the bands are closer to the top end. Just because it was like certain tones in the mid-range, I already boosted it in the parametric equalizer to make it sound more vocal. Some of them were just getting bad. So yeah, this must be where all the reverb is coming from. It's from this hardcore doing underwater. Now you see the peak controller over here. This is actually here because the mix of this hardcore underwater preset is always the opposite of the volume of the synth without it, with just the reverb and the parametric equalizer. So yeah, there's another EQ here. I don't know. Oh, that's a high pass for later on, and this is a low pass for later on. Right. So what's next? I actually can't remember. So yeah, it progresses a bit. So right, we actually get straight into the drop right here. So let me just narrow it down a bit. Here. So if you couldn't tell, there's a lot going on here. Right, let me just get my channel right back up. So this harmony, if I remember right, the harmony itself isn't... Oh wait, no, I remember wrong. I was about to say the harmony itself isn't very confusing, but it's a lot of the automation's on the harmony itself, I think. So yeah, this started out as just your normal super saw. Put on the unison, put it onto uniform mode. I've forgotten exactly what uniform mode does, but I feel like it gives it kind of... I don't know, it feels more full with uniform mode, and it feels like it's less smooth, it's got a bit more of an impact to it, so I went for that. As you can see, the harmonic unison pitch has been messed with. Again, I'm moving harmonics closer together in certain areas. Not really just because like I'm really thinking it out or anything. It's mostly just experimental, and it's like creating a different, making it sound unique from your everyday super saw. As I said, volume envelope here, every bar goes like that. Gives it that kind of swing to it. Nothing else is actually happening on the articular things, but there's a lot of automation going on, as you can see. So first of all, we got in fact, actually, let's go in order of top to bottom of the actual automation clips here. So as I said earlier in a couple of videos ago, this blue automation clip is just for this synth right here, which we turned off, so don't just ignore that. Right, so the first one we got here is the automation clip for the harmonizer, I believe. Yeah, harmonizer width. So, if we go on, have another look at this. So yeah, as you can see, the width of the harmonizer is being modulated so that the harmonizer basically accentuates certain harmonics. I'm not sure which exactly ones it is. It's to do with these shift and gap knobs, but yeah, that gives it like a much brighter texture when the width is higher. it kind of gives it a sidechain effect, but I didn't want to go full on just generic, this is a sidechain. So I decided to, you know, mix it up a bit because so many people use sidechains. But on top of that, it's not just doing that, it's also modulating this phaser, which is on deeper mode, so it's quite strong. It's quite a strong phaser. It's going very fast and in the opposite direction as to usual. It's a keyboard track just for some extra diversity. The phaser width, I just messed around with it until I got something that sounded right, and this is what I got. So let's take a look at the next automation clip. Sorry, I just lost myself there. Okay, here's where we get into the parametric equalizer. So let's get into the mixer. So this one then. Okay. So both this yellow and this purple automation clip are increasing the bass and the treble, I think the word for it would be. So basically the lower and the higher areas of the synth, so it feels like it's getting like lower and higher. It's like it's kind of a pitch sliding effect, but obviously pitch sliding itself goes through so many it's like a chromatic thing, goes out of scale, and I want it to sound very harmonized, so I don't want any of that. So instead, to create that kind of pitch shifting motion, but without actually creating any chromatic frequencies, anything atonal. As I said, I'm boosting the bass and then I'm boosting the harmony on and off, and you can just see the motion here. So as it gets to, I think this is the beat where the snare comes in. Yeah, when the snare comes, it sounds more like a sine wave because it's boosting the volume of the harmonics that are like a saw wave. I mean, a sine wave. But then when the kick comes in, it accentuates the higher harmonics, which emphasizes the idea that it's a saw wave, which is what it's supposed to be. Of course, and also it kind of fights back against the whatever pitch the percussion's at, because of course having the high frequencies with the kick means that they don't really mess with each other, because you had a low frequency with a kick there, they might mess with each other. Having opposites is a good thing here, and then having the low with that higher pitch snare. The snare isn't exactly really high pitched, but it is higher than the kick, so it goes lower there. So yeah. That's what that does. So the only other thing is this, which is just an automation clip for the vibrato. So now it's just the rest of this mastering to look at. If I remember right, this stuff right here is for automation clips later on, and this stuff. No, wait, that's no. This is all just for automation clips later on. I've forgotten how much I mess with this. Yeah. So basically, this on the second bar. Each time this drop part plays, it's changed up a bit. So first of all, we get this part where there's a gross beat on it. And it's just the Chaos 8 preset, so it's messing around with the time, replaying the sound over and over and over very quickly, and then setting it back to normal and doing it again. Until the last bar where it does that it came out weird kind of thing, where the time is being slowed down technically, but almost put to a point where it's not moving at all because of the slopes here, and then snapping back to where it should be, which almost has a gate kind of effect to it, but there's a bit more of you can tell that the pitch is being changed a bit from that, and it almost has a bit of an arpeggio kind of sound to it, but yeah. It does that. Then there's just a wobble here, just with a low pass. Oh yeah, right. Now something was nagging me here. There was a bit of a hole in the frequencies, and I couldn't think of why, because I hadn't done anything with the local EQ, and now I remember. This is a band stop, which